Hey Indy Labbers, I'm Rich Lund and welcome to another edition of Indy Labs, where we put the science in your hands. At home, do-it-yourself homemade slime became a trend not too long ago, and science teachers like myself have been doing it for years even before that. But what's even cooler than just at-home slime is at-home magnetic slime. It's like your typical slime, but it also has properties allowing it to be attracted to magnetic fields. You can have a lot of fun with this. The thing is, I've seen some videos out there where people are instructing you on how to make this stuff, and it's not a very safe way. Plenty of videos are asking you to include steel shavings into your slime that you make at home. That's not a good idea. Think about it. What are you going to be doing with this magnetic slime? You're going to be playing with it with your hands. Do you want a bunch of steel shavings in this? Sharp metal edges aren't a good idea. So instead, I want to show you a way to make it that's a lot safer. And we're going to learn a little bit about polymers along the way. Here's what you'll need. The basis for our slime is going to be your typical white school glue. However, if you can find the extra strength version of it, the stronger the formula, the more helpful that's going to be. This is going to be our source of our monomers, and we'll explain what that means later. But PVA is the type of glue you want. PVA stands for polyvinyl acetate, and the stronger the hold it's advertising, well, the more PVA is in there. Next up, in order to activate the polymerization reaction, we're going to need some borax. We'll eventually be making a saturated solution of this, and I'll show you how. Now that's all you need to actually make slime, but to make the magnetic slime, here's our special ingredient, iron oxide. Rather than using steel shavings, which in reality are just sharp metal edges that can get underneath kids' skin, iron oxide comes in a very powderized form. It's available at some hardware stores, plenty of craft stores, and even places like Walmart or Meijer will have it sometimes in stock, and if not, they'll order it for you. I'm also going to be using some paint, specifically this metallic type, but that's totally optional. It's not going to really do much for the color of our slime, but instead it makes it have a metallic sheen, which I think looks nice and also is definitely better for the camera. And one more optional ingredient is some amount of cornstarch. The more of this you add, the less oozy, drippy, slimy the slime is, and the more stiff and putty-like it becomes. And you're going to want some type of mixing bowl and some measuring equipment. And of course, to have some fun with your magnetic slime once it's finished, you're going to need some type of strong magnet. Neodymium magnets are available at many hardware stores these days. Got all that? Let's get to it. Let's start off by making the saturated solution of borax. Now, rather than worrying too much about measurements, get about a cup of water or a little bit less. And the easiest way to make a saturated solution is to just add enough borax until no more is dissolving. It actually doesn't take that much. Borax is not that soluble of a material. A couple of spoonfuls, mix it up as best you can, and if you see some solid down there at the bottom after thoroughly mixing, you know you have a saturated solution. Once you've got it, go ahead and set it aside, and let's get to the actual slime. Alright, to begin, I'm going to be using roughly half, so about 4 ounces of my glue. Trust me, that's a pretty large batch already. Next up, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of the cornstarch. And as said before, this is optional. And if you want to go a little bit less, it'll be more of a runny slime. If you want to go a little bit more, it'll be a more stiffened up putty-like slime. Mix those together as thoroughly as you can. Keep going. Get that forearm workout. At this point, because I'm using paint, I'm going to add it now. Again, totally optional. I don't really care so much about the color blue. That color is going to be overshadowed by the iron oxide once we add it. But again, that metallic sheen just makes it a little bit more camera friendly. Alright, now for the iron oxide. I'm eventually going to use 2 tablespoons of this, but I'm going to go one at a time. So I'm going to sprinkle in the first tablespoon here, and make sure to mix it very thoroughly. Once I've got this mixed together quite well, now I'm going to add in the second tablespoon of iron oxide. And again, more mixing. Okay, now at this point, the consistency of it is definitely thicker than it was before, but it's definitely nothing we are ready to play with. That's why it's now time to use the activating ingredient, the borax solution. Okay, now be ready for this part. As soon as you take some of that saturated solution of borax and you let it come into contact with our pre-slime mixture, it's going to activate and start to polymerize that right away. It's going to start to clump up and tangle together. So as soon as you add some in, be ready to mix. As you can see, as soon as I've added some, it's already starting to become a bit more of a clumpier liquid and less of a oozy, drippy one. I'm starting to make the slime. Polymerization has occurred. Mix that as thoroughly as you can, kind of as thoroughly as the slime's going to let you. And then you're going to want just a little bit more in some of the areas where it hasn't polymerized yet. Don't go overboard with this. If you add too much, you start to get a much more runnier slime again, and we want to avoid that. From the making of my slime, it only took 2 of those small teaspoons of the saturated solution in order to get it to solidify, liquefy, slimify the right way. Once it's more of a clumped together, less liquid-like putty, and not so much an oozy, drippy slime, well, then it's time to take it out of there and start working it with your hands. Now, fair warning to you, at this point, not all of the iron oxide is going to be on the interior. Some of it's still on the exterior and hasn't mixed well with the polymer yet. So you are going to get some of that black powder on your hands. Fear thee not, it washes off in the sink just fine. But that's part of why we're working it with our hands. It helps to mix everything else together, and any of that excess iron oxide is going to easily come out of the slime and onto your hands. Just keep on working with it, and eventually the black powder doesn't come off on your hands any longer. And there you have it. You've made your slime. Now, before we show you what it can do, let's learn a little bit about what just happened. How did we actually make this polymer? Let's do some modeling. Alright, now I'll admit, whenever you model something, you're leaving out some details, and that's why you're modeling it, so that way it's a little bit more understandable. So let's say that these white pipe cleaners represent the PVA molecules that are in our white glue. They're long chain molecules, and they can somewhat tangle together, but not too much. Normally, when glue dries, that's when water's leaving the mixture, and you have a lot more tangling happen. That's what causes glue to be a good adhesive. But by adding the borax, we can get a good chemical reaction that actually causes these things to tangle in a much more efficient manner. Let's say that these green pipe cleaners here represent the borax molecules that we're adding. When we place the borax in there with the PVA, well, they combine and join with 2 PVA molecules. They actually cause what's called cross-linking to occur. This makes the overall molecule a much larger one, and it's a lot easier now to get tangled with other molecules that are also doing this nearby. As these larger long chain molecules come into contact together and are wiggling and bumbling around, they tangle much more easily. This causes our slime to become a much thicker liquid, much higher viscosity pretty quickly. And there you have it. Our monomers, the PVA molecules that we started with, have now polymerized and become a polymer. So now when you're playing with your slime, you understand that this really should be much more of a drippy mess. But instead, it's actually because of, down at the molecular level, those molecules tangling together so efficiently. It makes it a lot thicker of a liquid. Polymers are awesome. Alright, so let's see what this stuff can actually do. Let's get those magnets. Now, the iron oxide in here itself isn't necessarily magnetic, but it can be magnetized. So holding this close to a magnetic field can get these particles to start exhibiting their own magnetism. In other words, it's almost like the magnet has to train the slime a little bit once it's brought near it. But once it starts to become attracted to it, well, a lot of that magnetism starts to take over and encourages other particles in there to also act and behave in a magnetic way. This kind of reminds me of how my pugs behave when I have a treat in my hand. Now with small neodymium magnets like this, you can have plenty of fun. But also for those a little bit more daring and adventurous, there's even larger, stronger ones available online. But be careful, these can pinch fingers. 1 is a great idea, 2, not so much. Pretty awesome stuff, right? Now if you made it this way, it still has some amount of moisture in it, and so it could still dry out. It's just less apt to dry out. Even so, when you're done with it, you're going to want to store it in some type of sealable plastic bag, just to keep it fresh. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, or if it taught you something, or both, that thumbs up like is always appreciated. And subscribe to the channel for more cool science experiments coming your way. I'm Rich Lund, thanks for having some fun with me, and I'll catch you next time.
Done it before and gonna repeat. Now searching the heaven scopes in every direction, so far evading detection, and it leads to the question. All this time and space should be all over the place, and if not, seems like a waste of paradoxical case. Looking